What's up, Kraken fans? Welcome to Emerald City Hockey Postgame Live presented by Flatstick Pub. Don't adjust your screens. I didn't hack into Emerald City's account here. I'm just filling in for RJ tonight. I'll be your guest host. My name is Mike. I run the Sasquatch NHL account on YouTube and X. For those that are familiar, great to see you guys again. For those that don't know me, very nice to meet you guys. Hopefully everything's coming through. You can hear me. Video looks okay. Great to be here tonight, and very honored to be a guest host for the guys here. I do live streams on my own and Kraken content on my channel, so check that out if you don't already. I take a little different approach, but fans' perspective is what I like to say. So if you'd like to check out my channel, please do support me as well, and that would be much appreciated. But it's an absolute pleasure to be here filling in, hosting for RJ tonight. Let me know in the comments if everything's coming through okay. So I'm going to try to keep up with the comments because on my live streams, I don't have as many viewers. So I'm going to be trying to keep up tonight. That's going to be the general theme. But thank you guys for being here. Let me skate my rookie lap just a little bit here for ECH. And I just want to point out I am undefeated when guest hosting for Emerald City Hockey. So an early Christmas present for the Kraken here. And in true Sasquatch NHL style, let's do this, a little fun question to start things out for you guys. Get things buzzing in the chat tonight. We're going to ask Dylan the same question later, get the holiday vibes going, celebrate a little bit tonight as we go into Christmas break. What is at the top of your Christmas wish list, whether it's hockey related or gift related? I want to hear from it. You guys, what a game from the Kraken tonight. The power play came through early, an early lead. It keyed that. Penalty kill came through in the third period. They got it done at a key moment there. Zegras plugged in the game genie for some God mode there. And Kraken, a lot of bend but don't break tonight. 3 goals on 22 shots. And Joey, OM Joey, that's going to be the theme of the stream tonight. Joey Decord just going off. Let's get into comments right now. I got to hit the super chats. I got to also remind you, we got to give a shout out to Flatstick Pub for sponsoring the stream tonight. This is all new to me. I have a whole different platform, but I'm super pumped tonight and Kraken to win as we go into the Christmas break. And like I said, Dylan's going to be here soon, so I can't wait to talk to him about this. But let's just go through the comments here. We've got B up top. The first comment says, everyone say thank you, Joey, for all those breakaway saves. Yes, Joey was incredible tonight. I'm just scrolling down. Make sure you guys can hear me. Everything's looking good. Looks like everybody's happy in the chat. Okay, back up to the top. Walt Askren says, closer than it probably should have been, but hey, we got it done, right? Chip says, woo, Joey. And oh my goodness, Joey, I cannot say enough about Joey Decord. The whole evening on time, that glove hand was just slick, silky smooth. I think I wrote that in my notes here. We'll talk about the game recap and everything as we go. Can't wait to hear from Dylan. He's going to log in here in just a little bit. Hopefully I remember to add him to the screen. So guys, remind me here in about 20 minutes to add Dylan to the screen. I got a super chat up here. It looks like, let's see what it says. It's Chip saying, give Joey the Davy Jones hat, please. He has 100% earned it over the last several games. Maddie coming alive, done keeping his temper controlled. And Tuna Tatar, oh my goodness, continuing to be productive. That was a sweet goal from Tomas Tatar tonight. Oh my goodness, he is fitting in so well with this team, and it feels like exactly what we wanted to happen. Change of scenery for a guy, right? And he comes over and he's just making a huge difference. Oh my gosh, I got to take a breath. Thanks for participating tonight on the live stream. You guys, like I said, it's an honor to be here and hosting this. RJ out there, on leave tonight, and Dylan will be here soon. So let's keep going through the chat. We've got Absurdly saying, oops, there we go. Santa came early and Joey was on fire. Also, Greg C saying, long-time family, I've missed you. Anyway, I think Hackstall is coaching even better than last year. So many injuries and no quit. Oh, I guess I can pop those up on the screen too. There we go. Like I said, I haven't used this platform before. I stream on a different platform altogether, but this is great. I'm really stoked to be here. Brian Kennicott, what's up? I know that you signed into my channel as well, saying 6-game point streak. Thank you, Joey Decord. Kraken feeling it right now, and it's incredible. We've got a lot of work to do still. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but this feels good right now. 6-game point streak, 2 games now that we've won in a row in regulation, and that's huge. You can get these regulation wins, just amazing. Keep going through the chat here. We've got Go Check Yourself says, Canner has been successfully kicked. Go team. Tatar goal was cooler than Zegras. Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I've seen the Michigan too many times now. Tomas Tatar, sweet dangle through just the zone, just weaving through the zone there, pulls it backhand, goes up high. That was incredible. Christian says, yeah, definitely a Joey fan. Was Dylan at the game? Dylan is at the game. He's probably interviewing down in the press corps right now. So he's going to be jumping in here pretty soon. We're going to get his perspective from the stadium, all that great information, set up the environment, what was going on in the crowd. It was a really good game. And the Ducks, they pushed back. But like I said, the Kraken bend but don't break, and they get it done tonight. Also, let's see. We've got Sean saying Tatar goal way cooler. I think I already said that one. Got to keep up here. B says, will say the defensive effort could have been a bit better, but they managed to hold on and get both points. And that's huge, right? In regulation, we've talked about this on my channel. I know you guys talk about it here on ECH. Regulation wins, so important. And the Kraken have been able to tread water throughout this season, keeping, those overtime losses and shootout losses. You still get a point for that. So that's huge. And it allows you to kind of tread water and stay within reach here. In my opinion, I think we're going to have to string probably 4 or 5 wins together to really get back into the picture here. But this is huge. We're right there, and we've got some really positive momentum going into Christmas break. Can't say enough about it. Holy moly. Okay, I got to keep up in the chat. I don't want to get too far behind. Hockey Mom says, welcome back at Greg C. Coop Woolstoon. Only silver lining is with Bedard scoring in Michigan, no one will care about Zegras'. Thankfully, that's true. Everything that's going to be on ESPN will be about Bedard's Michigan. Trevor Zegras, it was a beautiful goal tonight. Like I said, plugged in the Nintendo Game Genie for that one. Brian says, Dunn was great. Greg C says, thanks, Mom. Chip, refs calls were pretty bad against us, but we prevailed. Are you guys seeing the comments when I pop them up? Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know if the guys usually do this, but yeah, I'm a substitute teacher today. So here's what happens when I'm running the stream. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom real quick, just look and see what everybody's saying, see if I'm catching up. It looks like another super chat here from Jacob. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you for contributing here on the stream. It looks like Stratic down there too. I know Stratic, good pal there, says, I'm thrilled with any regulation win, but lots of warts on this one, addressed by wart remover Joel Decord. It was amazing. Okay, they don't usually pop them up or read all of them. Yeah, I'm trying not to read all of them. RJ told me that, but I'm pumped. I got some energy tonight. I'm going to do my best to keep up with you guys. And they did remind me to plug my own content. So I'm going to do that too. So if you don't subscribe, Sasquatch NHL, like I said, I take a little bit of a different approach, kind of a fan's perspective. So I'd be very appreciative if you guys subscribe over on YouTube and also follow on x.com. Great, great community that we've got going, a lot of different angles covering the Kraken. And I'm just, always thankful to be a part of it and be able to do this kind of stuff. Another super chat in there says, Light. I don't know, guys. Are we sure Joey is ready for the NHL? Matty has 5 points in 4 games with Tatar on his line. Tuna has changed him. Definitely. Matty, all of a sudden coming back to life, and you figured it would happen at some point, kind of that sophomore slump type of deal happening with him. But thanks, Light, for the super chat in there. Appreciate it. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. But like I said, the keys tonight, really, I thought that early power play goal by Bjorkstrand, amazing. Let's set things up just a little bit here as we get a little further into the stream. I'm going to keep taking your guys' comments. Big win over LA on Wednesday. Joey set a career high franchise record for saves in a game. I think it was 42 saves. Turbo and Eberle off the schneid, and that one got goals in the last game. And Matty looked good again tonight. It's so important. You just got to keep gathering these points like we've talked about. I know it's not great when you look at the math. I think Kraken are going to have to win 65 to 70% of their games down the stretch to really have a shot at the playoffs. But, you put a couple of these games together like this, and it's really encouraging. You see the team coming together, and everybody's having fun. And that's really the most important thing, I think, this season, where they've struggled a little bit. But yeah, Matty Benier is really starting to come back into his groove. Yanni Gourde, 500th game tonight. Want to point that out. And really, the story of the season has been injuries. We've talked about it a lot across, all the social platforms, but the Kraken really holding their own with the injuries that they're dealing with. Let's talk just a little bit about the roster. I'll take a few more comments here as we go. Let's see. Jessica says, whoops, I'm not supposed to pop them up. I love the Tatar I love Tatar as an acquisition. Good job, old man. Nice. I'll make sure I didn't miss any super chats too. I got Jessica F. Oh, there we go. With another super chat says top of wish list equals Winter Classic win. I love that. Thank you, Jessica F. I think I read Chips and Jacobs and Lights. So yes, Winter Classic win. That would be huge. I can't wait to see that go down. The whole spectacle is going to be amazing. The jerseys are dialed in. T-Mobile Park getting dialed in right now. It's just the scene. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if I'm going to be there in person. We haven't figured that out yet as a family, but we're going to figure it out. Joshua says, hi, Mike. What's up, Joshua? Good to see you here on the stream. Jessica F says, hi, Mike. Thanks for pitching in. Absolutely. Absurdly Sane says, hi, Sasquatch. Thank you, Alaska, for the flight delay so I could watch the end of this game from Vi Hareen. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Coop Coop Woolston says, this game is uninteresting without a 4-minute power play for the Ducks. Yes, and that was a key moment. They got the power play goal through on that first half of the 4-minute double minor, but then the Kraken cleaned things up in the back half of that double minor. Really key moment there, I thought. Gregory Vini says, hey, man, what's up? Yeah, good to see you guys. Thank you for all the support tonight. This isn't the easiest thing I've ever done. I was a little bit nervous coming on here. I have different setup, different room. I'm at my brother's house tonight, celebrating with the family. But like I said, just really happy to be here and help out ECH. Big fan as well over here. I love what they do. They're just completely committed to this hockey team and to this hockey community. And you love to see it. So any way I can, help out, always here for it. Patrick Laban says, laugh out loud. This was weird. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting game. It felt like maybe the Ducks should have had a little bit better outcome with that many shots, but the Kraken very efficient tonight. And I feel like I've said it a few times now, bend but don't break. And that's what they did. Jacob, thanks for the feedback on the audio. Says, sounds good. Is RJ okay? RJ's fine. He's just not present. I didn't get all the details. I think he's just maybe traveling or something like that. Just not able to go live. He's totally fine. No issues. But like I said, also Dylan will be here soon to chit chat a little bit. Christian says, hey, welcome. And RJ is here in the chat, says about to take off at SeaTac. Have fun for me, everyone. You're in good hands with Sasquatch and Dylan. Thanks, RJ. Hopefully you have a good flight. I don't know where you're headed, and that doesn't matter, but hopefully you have a great Christmas and a great holiday as well. And doing my best to keep it, locked down here on ECH Represent. And again, brought to you by Flat Stick Pub. it was in my notes. I got to remember to say the sponsor a few times, so I think I've done that. Great place, by the way. If you haven't been there, please go. It's pretty amazing. Kraken victory from Sean says 1-1-24 Kraken victory. That would be amazing. I can't wait to see what happens. Absurdly saying back to RJ, enjoy your Christmas break. Hockey Mom says RJ traveling and Dylan at the game. Thanks for the updates in the chat, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, everybody right now, hit the like button. I don't know how many people are watching. I'm not even sure how to check that on this stream. Maybe let me know in the chat, but everybody hit the like button right now. Helps boost the channel. These guys work their butt off for the Kraken. So let's keep boosting these guys up on their channel. They do an amazing job covering the Kraken, their podcast, their Red Glare. They do their Patreon. So yeah, awesome. And if you want to throw a little support Sasquatch way, that's cool too. But I'm representing ECH tonight. Got the ECH hat on. Let's talk about the roster just a little bit. And thanks for tuning in, you guys. And I want to hear from you. Your 3 stars in the chat. Of course, I'm going to keep live chatting with you guys. Actually, before we talk about the roster, just a little setup. Ducks coming into the night 12-20-0 and 3-7-0 in their last 10. So now they're going to be 3-8 in their last 11 games, 12-21. 21 losses. And it just shows you that difference in that loss, that overtime and shootout loss column. 0 for them. The Kraken with 9, and that makes a huge difference, making you relevant in the standings. The Kraken are going to move to 12-14-9 now. That's a 6-game point streak, like Brian pointed out earlier. Big win tonight going into the break. Tomas Tatar, just huge now. This acquisition has worked out like magic. Ron Francis dialing the cards in perfectly, just working out great. The chemistry up top with Maddie and Eberle, can't say enough about it. And Joey Decord just absolutely coming into his own as a professional NHL goaltender, he has been incredible over this recent stretch. I can't say enough about it. And I know that the comments come up, do we have to have a goalie controversy when Gru's ready to come back? But I think Hackstall has already answered this question. He's not going to be shy about going to the hot hand when that hot hand is playing well. We've seen it over the last couple of seasons already. Martin Jones filled in with Grubauer was hurt, and he took us basically got us into the playoffs last year. And then when Gru heated up in the playoffs, he did great as well. So I think Hackstall has made it very clear he's not shy about going to the hot hand. He went with Joey again tonight when he could have very easily put Chris Drieger in and maybe give Joey some rest going into the break. But you know what? Ride the hot hand. And I've got no problems with that. Okay, more comments. Quick drink of water. And I don't want to miss super chats. I think there's another super chat up here from Brian Kinnecott. Says Ducks had 34 shots. Kraken had 1. Joey, advantage Kraken. I love that comment. And, I wouldn't say all of them were those high danger, super high quality shots from the Ducks. I feel like the Kraken were more efficient, more opportunistic, and they broke through at the right time, right place. But yeah, I would like to see just maybe a few more shots quantity wise from the Kraken. Striatic says, tell Zegras to go back to Michigan. Lindsey McCormick, now that the Kraken have won, can we can give Zegras a little credit for that sick Michigan goal. I wonder if that's the first one Joey has ever faced and if there's any way to stop it. I don't know. I have no idea how you can stop that other than just completely overcommitting to the top of your net. Maybe even just, roughing him up behind the net with your stick. Ron Hextall style. If you remember that guy, I do. I'm kind of old. I'm much older than RJ. So yeah, a little bit older, less handsome version of RJ tonight. I'm filling in. So, okay. Rob says, how about 2 Michigan goals in one day? Will we get a third before the day ends? I don't know. I feel like 2 is enough. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Feels like 2 is maybe enough, but at least Zegras didn't get more. Lindsey McCormick also says, shout out to Dallas for that crazy comeback win to beat Nashville today. Huge for the wild card race, to be honest. Okay, so something to keep track of in the Western Conference standings there in the Central Division. Nicole Cutmore, woohoo, says with the Mike Sasquatch ECH crossover content. Always great to have you on the stream. Nicole Cutmore, Rob Cutmore, great friends here in the Kraken community. And like I said, just doing my part, doing the best I can to keep up in the chat tonight. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a great time right now. I've been battling my voice a lot over the last week. I got sick. The whole family was sick, but it's not 100%, but it's there. So I'm playing tonight with about a 90, maybe 85% on the voice. Sam DeSmith, Bedard and Zegras scoring Michigan's today, yet both their teams take the L. Highlight goals are for show. Team effort wins are for the dough. I love that, Sam DeSmith. You got the alliteration, the rhyme. That's like poetry right there. Bring some more of those comments, you guys. Jacob says, Mike's drink of choice for the win tonight in lieu of RJ's Gatorade. Yeah, I'm having a LaCroix. I don't know if I can show another brand on here. I didn't ask him about that. But yeah, it's a tangerine LaCroix. The Kraken feel so strong when their shots start going out of play from redirections. That was Jacob's comment. Okay, we'll keep going here. Stridic says, oh, okay, yeah, I skipped down. I got to go. Let's see, I'm getting out of order now. Rebecca Edwards, definitely keep sharing the comments on screen, upping the ECH production already. Watch out, Dylan or RJ. Well, see, I do it on my channel, so that's why I was like immediately popping them up on screen. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably get in trouble for that. Well, maybe not. I don't think they're going to care either way. I'm keeping my eye down here too because Dylan. I feel like we're getting close to that moment where he might be here. Looks like we're at about 19 minutes. 129 people watching right now. I've never done a live stream with this many people on it, you guys. So this is really cool to be able to do this. I think when I live stream, I have like maybe 10 people. So 130 people. This is pretty cool. Okay, where are RJ and Dylan? Dimitri Alvarado. So just another update. If you're just tuning in, first of all, thanks to Flatstick Pub for sponsoring the stream. RJ is on leave. He's traveling, and Dylan is at the stadium in Anaheim at the Honda Center tonight. He's going to be logging in here momentarily. Just another reminder, if you're just getting here in the stream, let's talk about the roster a little bit, you guys, as I try to keep up in the chat. Okay, Belmar, 4 to 6 weeks injured reserve, and again, just the injuries this year, on and on and on. Belmar, it's really unfortunate because I felt like that fourth line was really starting to click. Let's hear from you guys on that one. It's kind of disappointing. I know all the injuries have been disappointing this year, but that one felt even worse because we needed that depth to really kind of support things when the top six was, I don't want to say floundering, but having their issues early in the season. Matty going through a little bit of a slump. Now he's kind of finding his game again, but that Belmar injury really hurt. I feel like the cohesiveness of that fourth line is now suddenly out of whack again, but we'll see what happens. McCann back tonight. Evans back in for Schultz. So I think it was good to get Schultz some minutes in that last game. Let Riker kind of take things in as the rookie. You don't want to put him out every single night. That can be a lot for a defenseman, especially at his age and his experience. So no problem from my perspective, putting Schultz back in. Cole Lind, and then obviously Evans back in tonight. But Cole Lind sent back down to Coach Valley. Jaden Schwartz on long-term IR. Berkey's still out. So we're just not a healthy team. It's been a rough year injury-wise. Holy moly. Imagine trading Tomas Tatar. That is Brandon's comment. Yeah, I can't imagine that at all. Is the NHL ready for Joey, says Rebecca Edwards. Put the S in there. Yes. Okay, CR Bud says, Kraken pulled out the Dean Smith four corners at the end. B says, NHL wasn't ready for Joey Decord. Laugh out loud. He's so good. He was amazing tonight. His glove hand tonight was just positioning too. Don't want to minimize that. His positioning in net, his angles, that is a huge part of his game that has improved. We saw that the first few games. If you guys have watched since season 1, season 2, when Joey first came up, he was and he's still maybe a little too aggressive at times, but he was all over the crease, overcommitting. His angles were bad. He's really dialed that in, become more of a compact, efficient goaltender, slowed the motions down a little bit, going, side to side in his crease. Really important for him to kind of, rely on his positioning so that he can use his glove hand, his talented glove hand, especially tonight, to make those saves. Okay, let's look real quick here. Okay. Yeah. Tomas Tatar. Let's freaking go. Ty Jacobs. Good to see you too. Good buddy over there. Ty contributes on my channel as well. Striatic says, I can't believe we got Tatar for free, a fifth rounder. But yeah, basically for free. Our pro scouts are elite. And that's the thing, the organization across the board doing a great job finding these guys, maybe finding an opportunity for a guy to change scenery and just improve his game. And that's exactly what has happened. Ron Francis pulled the trigger, relied on his staff, his scouts, his entire organization around him. And so far, so good. Tomas Tatar. And it's really energized that first line. Eberle and Matty Beniers look like a whole different deal up top right now. FYI, Team Store has 25% off home and away jerseys for anyone wanting a Decord jersey like me. And that was Chip's comment. So thank you, Chip, for the update on that. I might go take a look as well. Hopefully I haven't missed any super chats tonight. Looks like, Light has another one, says, Joey played his 21st game of the season tonight in his 40th career game. He is 7, 5, and 8. We know how he's played, but this is truly his career breakout. So thank you, Light, for the super chat. Thank you, everybody, for contributing in the chat tonight. And thank you for participating, helping me along here on the stream. First time I've done this for ECH. Really unfortunate penalty for Tanev. That was Brandon's comment. Yes, I didn't really, there's not a whole lot he could do on that one. And he took the puck to the mouth. That's just the way things go sometimes. But, the Kraken, they didn't kill the first half of that, but they did kill the second half of that, which was key. Really important. Joshua, what's up, Joshua? Good to have you on the stream as well. Another good outing for Riker. Evans Schultz needs to stay in the box going forward. You're crushing, Mike. Thanks for holding it down. Yeah, I'm doing my best, like I said, I've never had this many people on stream before and this many comments. So this is really cool. Okay. Done the first Kraken to 100 assists. This was also pointed out on Twitter and on the broadcast. So thank you, Joshua, for bringing that back up. That's in my notes, but it's a little bit lower down here. So yeah, 100 assists for Vince Dunn. Incredible to be able to see that happen. You guys, we're gonna remember some of this stuff as we go along. This is only the third season as Kraken fans, and the team just continues to develop. But pretty cool. And you know what, you guys, I'm pretty pumped right now because our friend Dylan is waiting right now to join. So let's hear it for Dylan. Before we get too far, okay, let's make sure he's in there. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry.
Good.
Good. Yeah, it took me a sec to get in. The Honda Center Wi-Fi's being a little iffy.
All good. We're having a great time here. Before we get into all this hockey stuff, Dylan, I need to know really important information. What
Mhm.
is at the top of your Christmas wish list?
Oh man, that's an excellent question. Wow, was not expecting that one. I mean, look, this Kraken road trip has been pretty good to me, right? I've got to see 2 wins. I mean, that's pretty good. I guess if I could keep that rolling when I head up there for the Philadelphia game and then the Winter Classic, that would be fantastic.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be, yeah. I think that's it. Just the Kraken keep doing what they've been doing. I mean, they've been playing so well lately. Pick up 5 points on this road trip. I mean, they're just doing great.
And I kind of talked about it earlier. The math is going to be a little tricky, but this is really encouraging. Just as the team has kind of bonded together, that Tatar acquisition is making some huge momentum happen. It feels like, I don't know, maybe kind of give us your thoughts. What happened in the locker room? If you were able to talk to some of the guys post game, just the scene in general.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of a lot of people happy, right? Obviously, get another win, get to go into the break with a lot of momentum. Everybody's really ecstatic about that, and then also everybody with their luggage ready to go and starting to dash in different directions to go and make flights back home and wherever they're going. And rode with Shore up the elevator. He was trying to get out of there quick to try to go and make a flight. So everybody was very happy, of course. Really excited about how the team's been doing and ready for this break. Ready for the couple days off. Try to get healthy, right? Rest up a little bit. I think that's going to be a big deal for them. As for with Tatar, I mean, we spoke with him. You could just tell he's so happy to be here, to be in the situation that he's in, right? He's playing on the, quote unquote first line for the Kraken here, but being able to play with somebody like Matty Beniers, somebody like Jordan Eberle, you can tell he's really, really happy about that. And he feels like they're really developing some chemistry really, really quickly. And that's certainly played out over the last couple games that he's been with the Kraken. And so that's been exciting. Vince Dunn talked about the addition of Tatar being similar to last year with Ellie Tolvanen and just how having somebody come in and having them kind of gel, and get going right from the get-go and what that's kind of been able to do for the club, especially in light of all the injuries that the Kraken have had to deal with here recently. And then Dave Haxtell, you talked about it. He put a little bit of a damper on the whole Tolvanen comparisons. He said Tolvanen, look, he was somebody who was scratched. He was hungry for an opportunity. He was still trying to find his footing in the NHL. They sit him for a little while when he first joins the Kraken, and then once he got in, he really hit the ground running. Whereas with Tatar, it's more veteran guy, right? He's more established as an NHL player, but still just the way he's been able to come in here and work with everybody and play so well right away with a line that was struggling, right? Both Beniers and Jordan
Right.
Eberle, they were struggling a lot this year, and he's been able to come in and really help them out a lot. And so, yeah, I mean, he's been an excellent addition, and just everybody's just so happy to finally kind of turn things around here.
Just feels like it's kind of starting to click a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about Matty Beniers, that incredible play tonight. It feels like he's turning a corner. We've talked a little bit online, and I'm sure you guys have talked about it here at ECH. Sophomore slump. Eventually, a player of this caliber is going to break out of it, and feels like that's starting to happen. If you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, all year long he's been playing well, right? Maybe not always offensively, and certainly the production was not there. Nobody would argue that. But when we've talked about this, he's been playing really well as far as driving possession, playing defensively really well. He was, he struggled in the offensive scheme that Hackstall was trying to run for a long time. He was, the whole idea of like the center just kind of breaking in down the slot, being ready, and then just everybody kind of clumping up in the slot for either a deflection, a tip, or try to be ready for a rebound, something like that from a bunch of point shots, just wasn't his game. And so he, as they've kind of transitioned away from that in the last, what's it been, 2 to 3 weeks, his ability to now walk around the offensive zone, take time to really look for his teammates, stuff like that. You're seeing him come out a lot more of a playmaker now, right? That's more of what he's always been. It's what he's wanted to be since he was in Michigan, and I started watching him through his whole journey with the Kraken. You saw it last game with the great pass to set up Eberle on his breakaway, and then tonight with the soft hands and that sauce. Oh, that sauce over to Vince Dunn for that tap in goal. Right now,
But
Matty Beniers is finally being put in a spot where he can really utilize his skill set, and he's putting up a ton of points because of it.
it honestly looked like that puck was still in the air when Vince Dunn hit it. I don't know if you got a better angle on
Might
that,
have
and I
been.
saw it. I was watching on a smaller screen tonight, so I didn't see it. Maybe you guys let us know in the chat, but holy cow, what a pass! Like Dylan just said, the sauce that wasn't sriracha. I don't know what kind of sauce that was, but it was spicy. And we got a super chat here. Got to read that off. That was Schultz 82 says, Tovi, Tatar, and Ron, we trust. And Dylan, maybe you want to talk about this a little bit. Ron was on the broadcast the other night. Just always that calm demeanor, kind of
Mhm.
that wisdom, and I know there's been a lot of kind of stressed out fans and things like that this year because it didn't start the way we wanted it to. We've had these big expectations coming off that playoff run. But Ron Francis, I just feel like he plays the cards close, but he's got a really good just feel for the pulse of this team, and just little adjustments here and there can go a long ways. If you want to kind of talk about Ron Francis and what he does for this team.
Yeah, I mean, he does so much. He's the architect of this, right? Like, this is none of this exists, and none of these players are here without him. And so, that's that right there is a big thing. Walk past him on the hallway, it seems like he's always on the phone in those situations. But yeah, particularly when you look at the additions of Tatar or a Tolvanen, combined, cost to bring those two players into this lineup, 1/5 round pick. That's it, right? You got these two incredible everyday players for you. One who's helped, wake up your player who's maybe going through a sophomore slump, right? Your future franchise player in Matty Beniers, and all you had to do was give up a 5th round pick for him, right? He went out, he identified somebody who was struggling, right? Tatar only with the 1 goal in 27 games in Colorado. We all knew that's not Tomas Tatar, right? He's better than that.
Right.
He was just it was just a rough fit for him, able to bring him in for very cheap and make something happen. And I feel like that's really been his thing all along. That's what he's been really, really good at. We haven't seen that one like giant move from him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that one is coming, but for all of the little work that he's had to do around this roster to slowly improve it, to tweak it, he just seems to be, doing it in all the right ways right now.
And I know you guys have talked about it a lot. We've talked about, I feel like every outlet has talked about this a lot. We were expecting some offensive regression coming into the season. So that is really hard to overcome, especially, when you kind of lose some of those guys, those depth guys like Donato and Geeky and Sprong that people, really loved.
Yeah.
And it feels it's harder to kind of make up for that, especially if your fourth line wasn't, quite clicking the way you wanted it to first. But feels like, there's some chemistry going despite all the injuries on this team.
Mhm.
And I feel like if they can just kind of keep this going. Joey has been a huge part of this. Joey Decord, can we talk about Joey Decord for a little bit? Because, oh my God, who is this guy?
Is there anybody else that you'd want in the NHL right now when having to face a breakaway other than Joey Daccord? Right, like it's unreal. He's like automatic in those situations right now. He's been making so many great saves. The other night in LA, obviously the shutout wasn't quite able to happen because of the now infamous play. But
Yeah.
he's been playing fantastic. You can tell he's playing with a ton of confidence. He's really seized this opportunity at the NHL level, and I just think it's all clicking for him, right? We've seen him get, a couple starts in the NHL before, right? Like he's had the opportunities, but this time he's really, really running with it. And you just look, and it's another night like tonight where basically you have to pull off some like otherworldly play to get one past him the way Zegras did, right? Because he's just a wall otherwise. I mean, Joey Decord has been the thing to really help reignite this team, get them out of their slump, get them moving in a positive direction, start accumulating points, start climbing in the standings. And I mean, if that doesn't scream like, at least short term team MVP, I don't know what else does.
Stratic says Jolie, sorry, with 1.7 goals saved above expected via money puck there. That is indeed a quality start.
Mhm.
Kraken, I mean, where would they be without Joey Decor? And we said the same thing last year with Martin Jones, right? Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been in the playoffs with Martin Jones. But okay, I probably should take some more comments here, right, Dylan? And then we'll get
Yeah.
into, maybe some of the game recap here and make sure I'm in the right spot. But Circling Seattle Sports says, Mike, thanks for being here, CSS. Charles, happy holidays to you and the entire team over at CSS. Oda Cat says, you're doing a great job, Sasquatch. Thanks for filling in. Of course, like I said, it's an honor to be here. Big fan of these guys, just like everybody here in the chat. Kraken Fancast here says, what's going on? That's probably Jim logged into his account over there. Those guys, great account too. Okay, Joey does have an active stick that might be a little far, but I'd like to see it. Rebecca Edwards, and this is the aggressive nature of Joey, right? So you got to take the good with the bad. I don't think that goal against LA the other night was really his fault, but he was kind of out of the net, and people get alarmed by that. But I feel like Joey's kind of had to learn the hard way, but I feel like he is learning. Maybe dial it back just a little bit with some of that stuff, Dylan, if you want to comment on that.
I do think so, right? I think, that LA goal wasn't the first time that we've seen something that wasn't really his fault, but it did, take place because he was out of the crease, right? If you go back to the Florida game earlier this season where he has that one that's, rimming around the back, it hits that stanchion on the glass, pops out in front, and, Florida's able to score in that game. It was really brutal at the time, similar to that LA goal where it's one of those things you're never going to expect that to happen. You do that play 100 times, and maybe it happens once. But the fact of the matter is that it doesn't go in if he's in the crease, right? And so at some point, you do have to start working on that. And I think he has. I think he's also learned like when to be aggressive with his poke checks, right? Like he's really gotten a lot better. Like I said, it just feels like it's clicking, right? He's into the rhythm of the NHL. He's used to the speed now of the NHL. It's a huge difference from what he was seeing with the Firebirds, and I think that's been making all of the difference for him right now.
Yeah. They talk about this a lot, on like TNT and ESPN, et cetera, et cetera. The speed of the game, like Dylan just pointed out, huge difference, and you can really see it. Go watch a WHL game. Go watch if you don't. I'm sure a lot of you do, but if you don't, if you're new, go watch the Silvertips. No, don't go watch Go watch the Thunderbirds.
Maybe watch the Portland Winterhawks. How
Ty,
about that? Not just
Ty might go watch the Winterhawks. I'm more of a Thunderbirds guy, but I don't want to draw any lines or anything like that. But go watch a WHL game if you haven't, and then go watch a Kraken game. And it's very obvious the speed, the efficiency of the passing, just the sound of it too. The way it hits the stick. It's all that stuff. Okay, a few more comments here, and then we're gonna have Dylan weigh in again on another Christmas question for you, Dylan. We're gonna.
Oh boy.
You know how I roll, right? I keep
Yeah.
it light sometimes too. DJ Singletone says it's your flu game. Nice. Jacques 2 cents chills. Ron Francis did it again. Already a great trade. Also, do we have the best goal song in the NHL? I mean, it's pretty good.
It's really up there. I mean, right? Like you're taking a great song already, and then you're injecting in like something specific to the team. I know at the time that was controversial, but I got to imagine that's really grown on a lot of people.
Sorry, I just laughed at this other one. Rebecca Edwards, it's the next one. You've heard of lemon lime Gatorade time. Now get ready for LaCroix. It's because I'm drinking LaCroix tonight. I'm so lame.
Okay.
I won't be drinking LaCroix after the stream, but and then Brian says, Mike,
it was mentioned. I did sneak this into Honda Center as well.
There you go.
Ready to go.
So yeah, tell me about this because I was doing my prep work. I watched you guys' last. I don't watch all the time, but I watched your last stream just to kind of get. So do you sneak something through every time? Is that kind of the deal?
You never know when the Kraken are going to win a game, right? You always got to be prepared for it. So yeah, anytime I can get the Gatorade through security, I get the Gatorade through security.
All right. Excellent. Okay, I get it now. Stratic says, loving this next streamer up mentality. Thanks, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for all the support tonight. I was a little bit nervous, but I was really excited to do this, and this has been a lot of fun. Dylan, the thing I was most nervous about was keeping up in the chat, and RJ even kind of gave me, he's like, don't worry about it. But because like when I do my live streams, I have like a few people in some chat, but I was like, oh my God, here they come. 116 viewers. And it's just like, holy cow, I got to read all this stuff.
It's fantastic. You're doing a great job. And yes, thanks to you, of course, for stepping in and helping us out like this. And thanks to chat for everybody giving him such a warm welcome, especially this time of year. Feels good.
Yeah, what a treat to go into Christmas break. A Kraken win. Good holiday vibes here. I asked Dylan what was at the top of your Christmas wish list. Okay, here's the second holiday question. You guys can answer this in the chat too, and I'll try to skip down to the bottom a little bit because I am a little bit behind. But okay, what is your go-to holiday treat? And I'll kind of open it up here. I have been eating Chex Mix non-stop. I'm gonna probably weigh about 15 pounds heavier when the new year rolls around.
I had some Chex Mix up here on the press bridge. Actually, I'm a big Chex Mix guy. I mean, go-to holiday treats. I'm just a big cookie guy. Like, give me all the sugar cookies, give me the frosted cookies, give me the gingerbread cookies, right? Like, give me all of the cookies. I will eat all of it. The shortbread. I mean, just each and every form of cookie. I am all about the cookies.
All right. I mean, I'm right there with you. Chex Mix and cookies. I don't need pie. I just need cookies.
No. Yep. So, don't need any of that. I got my lemon lime Gatorade. That goes with any form of cookie, right?
Right. Okay, I'll read a couple more here before I scroll to the bottom. Cappy says, yeah, we miss Belly on the face-offs for sure. Yeah, that's going to be tough to overcome. I don't know, Dylan, if you want to comment on that too.
Kraken really just have days where like all of them can win, no matter what, right? Like they're just rock solid with it. Maddie has a game where he'll just come in and dominate. And then they have other nights where, yeah, if Belmar's out of the lineup, you're just like, okay, if there was a crucial face-off, who do we send out there for this one? Because I'm not feeling a lot of confidence from anybody. So it's one of those things, right? Like they got to figure it out as a team. I don't know. Maybe the answer is Shane Wright. He's the one guy who really, while he was with the Kraken, just seemed dominant at it. But the Kraken, look, they still got a lot of time to figure that one out. Hopefully they don't put themselves in too many situations where it's going to be super critical and they're going to have to worry about it. But Matty Beniers is better than last year. He's going to continue to develop. It's one of those skills that takes a couple years in the league. And, he's at least advancing and working in that right direction.
All right. We've got a couple comments on the treats down here. So I'll do those real quick. And then I do want to talk about the number of shots that we had tonight, which wasn't a whole lot, but yeah, it's okay. So Brandon says fudge. Best holiday treat for B is peppermint bark. I like that one too.
Oh, yeah.
Evan Heaton says peanut butter cookies. We've got DJ Singletone saying, I've eaten an ungodly amount of peanut butter Snickers lately.
That sounds really good, DJ.
Yeah, it sounds. We might have to log out early. Jeez.
I know.
Circling Seattle Sports. Common DJ Singletone W. A good hot cocoa from Oda Cat. A good Mexican mocha with oat milk from Jake Aaron. Zame. I think this is Davy Jones' locker room, if I'm not mistaken, saying altering the lyrics. Oh, we're talking about something else here. I got to go back up. But he says altering the lyrics also changes the rhythm of the lyrics and the syncopation after Kraken really hits without the gonna crack. Yes, I think he's talking about the goal song there. Okay, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, no, it does. It does. You're right on it there, Zane.
I'm a little out of order. I do know about syncopation because I used to be a drummer, so I'm retired from that now. But okay, Lindsay says, same Dylan. My family baked for 8+ hours and made hundreds of cookies yesterday. Already gave myself a stomach ache from eating too many. Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, oh, that sounds great though. I'm sure it was worth it, Lindsay.
Sean Edwards, I really like Joey Decord's active stick and look forward to his first assist and or empty netter, but he showed good judgment on that breakaway late in the second. And geez, Joey, I just keep saying it. Joey. Holy moly, where would we be without Joey this year, Dylan?
I know, especially lately too, right? With the Grubauer injury and all of that. And yeah, I'm just waiting on the empty netter, right? Like tonight, they just couldn't quite get in a spot where they could pull the stall. They couldn't get the net empty. I was so hoping Joey would maybe be able to get a chance there. Unfortunate, not going to happen tonight. But it's just one of those things. Like it feels like it's always on the table at least, right? That makes the ends of these games so exciting.
Okay, so these comments were about the goal song. I just got out of order. So Zame says a good goal song is an original choice, a local artist, and has a good crowd participation element. Lithium is a tier 1 goal song with Nashville, Vegas, and Dallas. Tammy says we had almost 200 in chat the other day. Holy cow. You guys
Yeah.
are killing it over here. I love it. So happy for you guys. That's awesome. We just said, I just read Sean Edwards' comment there. I think that was all about the goal song so far, but absurdly sane. Also, maybe you want to talk about this a little bit, Dylan. The Zegras goal, the
Yeah.
Michigan, two of
Oh,
them tonight. One from Bedard, which somebody mentioned the only one everyone's going to remember was Bedard's because it was Bedard, but Zegras, wow.
I was going to tell you, I'll never forget this one. Happened like right directly in front of me. I was basically, just almost on the goal line, so I got to see it the whole way. It was the thing you don't expect when you see it in person, and I don't know if anybody in chat's seen one in person, is the speed of it, right? Because it's happening at full speed, and we're used to seeing these on highlights, right, where it's in slow mo, and it's happening at like half speed so that you can really track and see what happened with it. And so when it happens at full speed, the strength and the speed that you need to keep the puck on your stick like that, right?
Mhm.
And then just swing it around really fast to be able to beat the goaltender. It happens so quick. I know we were talking about the speed of the NHL earlier. It happens so quick and it has to be delivered so like emphatically. And I was just kind of taken aback by the speed and strength of watching it happen. And it was, yeah, it's something I will never forget. It's definitely up there in the top three like most amazing goals I've ever seen in person. Sucks that it had to happen against the Kraken, but what a way to announce your presence right back in the lineup. If you're Trevor Zegras, you get back into a game and you just throw one up there. And then the rumor that was going around in the press sphere downstairs was the Ducks had done with their TV crew a on the bench report, right? And they had been interviewing Trevor Zegras, talking about what it's like to be back, and they asked him his Christmas wish, and then the woman who was doing the interview said her Christmas wish was for him to score a lacrosse goal, and he said, "I'll try." And then, sure enough, here it is.
Yeah.
So just more added on to the legend of Trevor Zegras.
It was incredible. Right after that whole thing happened, the Ducks had another huge chance, but Joey made a big save. That was 4:58 left, and that glove hand just silky smooth tonight. Really credit to his positioning. I feel like Joey's really improved in that area. But let's talk about the Kraken's highlight reel goal. That entry by Vince Dunn, and then we'll talk about, just so few shots tonight, but very efficient. But Vince Dunn enters the zone, kind of that sweet little drop pass to Tomas Tatar, and he just kind of weaved through. Tell us
Yep.
about that one, Dylan.
That one was really pretty to watch. And like if you've been to a hockey game, sometimes you just get the sense of like, oh, okay, I'm going to see a play here, right? Like this something's going to happen. There's an energy that just starts permeating through the building, and that was one of those where the moment Tatar made the first move to get around the first group of two Ducks defenders, and I think there was one Kraken in there. You just got the sense of like, oh, okay, if he's going to pull off that second move, he's got this, right? Like this is a goal no matter what, right? And sure enough, he gets around the last group of people and he just roofs it. And it was just one of those plays that, unlike with the Zegras one where it just happened like fast and out of nowhere, it was one of those things where it's like time slows down and you're just watching an artist at work, right? And in the way that he was managing the puck, the way that he was able to control it while having to make those two moves, the skating, the edge work, all of that stuff, you're just able to see it in real time. And it was just one of those things I think you could see. It must have felt really good too, right? Like just like hitting the sweet spot with a golf ball, a golf club or something like that, because the celebration from him afterwards was so big, and you could just tell that he was still feeling it even afterwards in the locker room when he was talking about it. But yeah, it was a fantastic goal from him.
Dylan, maybe could you just talk about the mood in the locker room now versus maybe a month ago, real quick? I feel like that's something I would love to hear, maybe in the chat as well, but just kind of that insight, the mood overall.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the last time I was around them and in the locker room, I was up there and it was, we went through the Flames win and then the Sharks big win, and everything was great. And then after that Vancouver loss, you could tell that people were a little like taken aback because that one was a game that got out of hand early and the Kraken weren't ever able to kind of get back in it. They struggled at the beginning. They gave up the short-handed opportunities, gave up goals, and then in the third they could not rally at all. Like they just didn't really have it. And so they had to leave early the next day, but there was like this really for that now infamous road trip where things really went bad, and you could just tell that everybody was feeling, a little like, well, what do we do? Like, how do you deal with that? And
Yeah.
I think there was some positivity. Everybody was still like on board with it. I know Vince Dunn talked about it tonight. Just that, look, nobody ever gave up on this group. Nobody ever really stopped believing. They were all there for each other. They really felt like it was just one of those things that they just needed to be playing better. Like individually, they just needed to be playing better. And it was one of those. It was just like a weird feeling. And I don't know. Maybe that's just because they were all trying to get out of there really quick too, right? Because they had like a 12 o'clock flight, but they were starting practice at like 10. So they were just trying to rush and get out of there no
Yeah.
matter what. But now it's just, back to back times now that I've been in the locker room, everybody's just happy. Everybody's smiling. They're talking about plays, excited. They're not talking about, oh, how should I deal with this next time? They're talking about like, oh man, I saw this and I knew right away I could pull this off, or I could go here, right? Something like that. And it's obviously a much better room to be walking into, but I do think that it was really, really good for them. Like the amount of smiles I've seen these last two games talking with them equals everything that I had seen when I was up there for a longer period of time, going to practices, going to morning skates. They're just all really, really feeling it. I think they're really, really happy to have this break now, kind of heal up a little bit, because you
Yeah.
play 30 something games in the National Hockey League. Everybody's bumped and bruised, and they're excited to go spend some time with their families. But I suspect they're going to come back just in a really positive mindset after this break, and I suspect they're going to keep doing what they've been doing here.
Yeah, you can never discount time off, especially at this level of play and the injuries and everything that they're dealing with. We know all the injuries that have been reported. There's always, injuries that are not always reported and things like that. And we kind of highlighted the Tomas Tatar goal, but I do want to talk about a little bit. Are we worried that maybe the Kraken aren't generating enough shots? They had 3 goals on, what was it, 20? How many shots was it?
Was it
22
much?
shots. Uh, but the power play broke through early. That Bjorkstrand goal, that laser, that was huge. I think kind of keyed the momentum early. But is this something that we need to be concerned about? Maybe we need to just generate a few more shots, even if they're not quality high chances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not worried about it. I think, look, before they kind of changed the system, like I referred to earlier, with kind of waking up Matty Beniers, they were
Yeah.
generating a ton of shots, right? Like they were out shooting their opponents every game. Like they had kind of overcorrected into this, like throw everything at the net, try to get screens, try to get rebounds, try to get tips, and it just wasn't really working. You can have a bunch of shots, but if they're all low quality shots, you're still not going to score, especially in the National Hockey League. You're just not going to get lucky that often, right? That a goaltender happens to miss it, or that something else happens. And so I still like the fact that they've changed this to make it a little bit more, look, let the players make their plays, right? Let Matty Beniers make his playmaking plays. Let a Tomas Tatar go around and deke out a bunch of defenders and make a play. Let's not try to just always set up right away in the offensive zone. Let a defense get comfortable. Let a defense get set. Let the goaltender get set. Like let's just go in and go with it, right? Let's feel out the game and we'll go with it. And if we get 20 shots, that's all we get. That's fine, because you know what? You can still pick up a win. They've been doing that these last couple of games. And if they get, more like 30, well then yeah, go for it, right? You might as well just keep beating up the other team that you're playing against. But I'm okay with this more quality over quantity approach that they've been taking, and I think the results kind of speak for itself.
And it sure is nice to play with a lead, right? Instead of chase the game
Man,
constantly.
that's
Feels
been
good.
such a big deal for them too, and they all talk about it, right? To a man, they talk about how important that's been. That's something that they were not having while they were in that slump that they were having, the 8 game skid. But now the fact that they can score first, the fact that you've got Joey back there holding down the fort and playing as well as he has, and the fact that the defense, right, like they're also a part of this, is they've been doing a really good job of keeping teams to the outside. It's the most evident in the 2 matchups against the Kings, but I think it holds true against Florida as well.
Hmm.
They've been doing such a good job of keeping teams to the outside, forcing them to take those low quality shots, right? They're giving up a lot of shots. Joey's making a ton of saves right now, totally padding his save percentage, but they've all been really, for the most part, a lot of easy saves for him, right? They've been doing such a good job of forcing other teams to take shots from a little bit further out. I thought the Ducks did a good job of adjusting to that in this one. They would have like a Drysdale kind of work it more to the slot, right? Like if I'm gonna have to take a shot from the point, I'm at least going to square up to the goaltender and have him have to worry about all four corners. So that's something
Yep.
that the Kraken are going to have to worry about maybe a little bit, but for the most part, the way they've been playing right now, they've just kind of flipped the script from what was kind of hurting them, where they were struggling to get quality chances and they were giving up too many, and now they're not giving up any quality chances and they're getting all of the quality chances. So as long as they can keep doing that, I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, really feels like they've made some good adjustments. The angles that Joey's able to see the puck at, maybe the shooting lanes, they're just playing things a little bit more. They're executing better is probably the easiest way
Yeah.
to kind of generalize it all together. But okay, let's hit some more comments here right in a row. We're at 55 minutes, Dylan. So we're gonna hit as many comments as I can.
So,
Anything you want to talk about, make sure you chime in here. Let's start with Michael Kinsman says Decord playing like 2012 Jonathan Quick right now. I love that
whoa, man,
reference.
that's some high praise right there.
So I grew up a San Jose Sharks fan, very similar to RJ,
Mhm.
right? And
Yep.
I lived through the reverse sweep. Those were some really trying times as a
Oh,
Sharks fan. So the
yeah,
LA Kings have a very special place in my heart, if that makes any sense. But
it
yeah.
does. It does.
Lindsay McCormick also got to praise Ron for leveraging the Blue Jackets' lack of cap space to trade for Bjorky. So yeah, Ron
Yep.
just pushing all the right buttons. Alex says, "Who got the hat? I don't know. I need to go see
Yeah,
online here. I'm just
I wasn't
I'm
able to
totally
see it. They were all rushing out of there so fast. Like they were all
yeah.
just
Let us
getting their stuff down. But yeah,
let us
everybody let us know in chat.
please. Okay. Chandler says, "Don't forget to yes. Good point. Everybody, hit that like button right now on the stream. Help out the channel. Help out the stream. Help out the video. Like I said earlier, Dylan, RJ, you guys work your butts off. So just trying to do my thing tonight and help out as I can. But yeah, everybody, hit that like button right now if you haven't yet. Please do." Striatic replied to Kinsman says, "Great game to catch in person." The RSN Root Sports Northwest called out the Kraken fans representing at the game. That's always cool to see on the
Oh yeah,
broadcast.
there was a lot of Kraken fans. I had a nice little Joey Decord cheering section right in front of the press bridge. That was a lot of fun. Every save, they were shouting out his name, cheering, hooting and hollering. It was really cool.
That's great. Killer Beam Entertainment says tartar sauce on my fish and chips. It was fantastic tonight. Zame
Yep.
says fire Hackstall, fire Francis. Wait, are we still doing this? Love the
Yeah.
sarcasm there.
Oh boy, that's really gone away this last week or so, hasn't it?
Yes, it's always nice when it goes away. I get so tired of
Definitely.
hearing that. Striatic. Oh wait, Jessica F. He's just a bubbly glass of fine champagne. I think they were. I don't know who they were talking about. So we'll keep going. Striatic says Joey is good for a bunch of breakaway saves each game. Let's just keep him for prolonged. Keep him from prolonged shootouts where he eventually runs out of saves. Okay, yeah. Uh, Shootouts. Let's just not go to shootouts at all.
I was gonna say, do we really need to be going to more overtimes and having to deal with all that? Like, I think we're okay.
Chip says, I want to underline the fact that the momentum did a total 180 when Turbo got the double minor, and we still managed to bounce back without extra unnecessary penalties. Cough, cough, done.
Yes.
So, yeah, we didn't do any of those weird late penalties, right?
Nope, nope, no late penalties. The discipline from the team much improved lately. I have a feeling they probably got a pretty serious talking to a couple games back.
Yeah, William Borgen also guilty, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Rebecca Edwards said, "My comment about the active." Oh, so this was from earlier. Comment about
Yeah.
the active stick was in response to your suggestion about the only way to defend the Michigan. I have zero complaints about Joey. So yeah, I didn't mean to confuse that, but yeah, that's you just can't defend the Michigan
I was just
normally
gonna
as a
say, I
goalie.
don't know how you're supposed to, unless you're gonna start as a goaltender, learning to just like wedge your head into the corner every time. But I feel like that's not gonna be good for the old noggin. So yeah, it's just one of those things you just got to know. Look, there's only 2% of this league's gonna ever really try that in a game, and when it happens, I guess it just happens.
Right. Circling Seattle Sports says covering T-Birds and covering Kraken. Definitely notice the speed difference we were talking about earlier. Absurdly Sane says, "Good grief, they gave Zegras first star." Huh.
It's for I mean, first game back, he's been out for a long time. He pulls off the big goal.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. There was not a lot of there's a lot of Anaheim media, we'll just say.
Yeah, the Disney Christmas present. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah,
Michael Kinsman says, "Thank you so much, RJ, Dylan, and Mike for all your work this year. Love you guys. We love you, Michael Kinsman. Thanks everybody for being on the
definitely.
stream and on the chat tonight, and being here supporting me through this. This was awesome. We still got almost 100 viewers still logged in. I'm gonna try to keep reading through more comments here, Dylan. Maybe a couple of final thoughts here after I read just a couple of more.
Mhm,
Wrap things up for the night. Go into Christmas break. Chip says Gatorade time. We talked about the goal songs. I'm going to skip back down here. The treats. We had the hot cocoa. Oh, Tammy says my favorite holiday treat was the eggnog latte at Starbucks, but they got rid of it. They did. I used to have that one too. That was one of my favorites. What is wrong with you, Starbucks? Why are you taking away all the good stuff?
I have no idea. I've never had eggnog. Should I try it?
Oh, you got to try. So, I mean, you can go non-alcoholic, or you can do it with, I think it's rum usually that's in eggnog, but
Okay,
I'm a
okay.
big fan. I don't drink it very often, but I like it when I have it. So I would suggest at least trying it. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
I'll try that.
Jim C says the Lindor dark chocolate.
Oh yes, those are good. Those are really good. I know, and I
Cappy.
saw somebody else said snickerdoodles. Like, I mean, there's
Oh
so many
yeah.
good things. Why can't it be the holidays all the time? Just eat all this good stuff.
Cappy says yes, empty netter Christmas wish. Joey empty netter. Tammy says those Ferraro, sorry,
Ferrero
uh,
Rocher.
Ferrero Roche
Yeah,
things are also pretty great.
yeah,
DJ
those are
Single
definitely good.
DJ Singletone for Dylan. Shane Wright is on a line with Tucker Robertson right now. Little
Let's
interesting
go. Let's go.
information.
The rise of Tucker Robertson is now. It's here. It's happening. I'm so happy. I'm so pumped.
Love it. Rebecca says, this was in response to Jessica, says, thank you for saying that. Realize I have a whole bag of snickerdoodles. I might have to see if there's any upstairs in our little treat bin. Chip says, I think it's hilarious that both teams who managed to score the Michigans lost their games tonight. Yeah.
You know, you could go for the team game and all that good stuff, or you can show off and get on Sports Center. It's up to you.
No hat announcement yet, says B. So we're hoping for Joey. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
And Brandon says, ban the shootout. So I can't disagree with that.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people on board with that, I think.
Now, B weighed in on the eggnog. It says, tastes like toothpaste to me. Personally, do not recommend. So, to each their own. But you got to at least try it to know if it tastes like toothpaste or not to you, right?
That's true because I've heard it's like a what like a looser custard kind of taste or feel to it. Is that kind of in there? I don't know.
Oh, Zame has an important question here. Why does Dylan get in town for the Winter Classic? Or maybe saying when?
Yeah. I fly in on the 29th, and then as of right now, the plan would be for me to go and cover that game against the Flyers that night, and then we start all of our serious Winter Classic coverage for the next couple days. I am unfortunately only in town for a few days. I come in on the 29th and I leave on the 2nd, so it's gonna be tight trying to meet everybody and get in as much stuff with the community as possible, but we're sure gonna try.
Absolutely. It's good to hear. Maybe I'll swing by. Maybe we could actually meet in person for the first
Yes,
time
I
ever.
know. I've never met you. It's
It's just
crazy.
like every time you're here, I'm out of town or some sort of
Mhm.
thing happens. But
Yep.
anyways, okay, I think we're gonna wrap up. Dylan, any final thoughts? We got Calgary on Wednesday, December 27th after the break. What's your thinking going into this break? Final thoughts.
Get healthy, have all the guys. Hopefully, they enjoy time with their friends and family, all that good stuff. And, again, whenever you can enter some sort of break like this with positive momentum, it just makes a world of difference, right? Even just the fact that when they had the 2 days off in between the LA game and this game here in Anaheim, that they ended, picked up the W for that Kings game. You never want to be, stuck with just those negative emotions coming off of a loss or a losing streak, right? You want to stay riding that high. You want to come back to work at the other side of the break and you want to be feeling good about it. You want to be excited to see everybody again, excited to get back to work. And I think the Kraken are really there. And I think that's going to help them out a lot coming out of the break.
Winning cures all for sure.
Really
Those are
does.
just kind of my quick thoughts on it. But Joey Decord has been incredible. The power play, let's keep that going. Penalty
Yeah.
kill, not too bad lately. Special teams always going to be huge, but really for me, it's been the goaltending. Joey Decord has been incredible, filling in for injured Philip Grubauer. It's just been great to watch this kid develop.
Yep.
Can't say enough about it. All
Yep.
right. So that's going to do it, Dylan. Unless you have anything else, next game is Calgary, Wednesday, December 27th. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I just want to give Flat Stick Pub one more plug here as the sponsor. So thank you, Flat Stick Pub. Thank you, Dylan. And thank you, RJ, for this opportunity. I had an amazing time. Hope you have a great Christmas. Anything else to say?
No, I just thank you again so much for helping us out and for doing this. You did such a fantastic job. I was able to watch a little bit down the hallways, waiting to go into the locker room and everything. I just want to say thank you one more time. Stepped up huge for us.
Absolutely. I'll just all I ask is another trivia show sometime soon. We'll do that for sure.
I think we'd be on board with that.
All right, cool. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Dylan. And again, thank you, RJ. Hopefully you're doing great out there. Merry Christmas. That's it for tonight's episode. Talk to you guys again soon.